So in this video, I'm going to be going over latching your baby to the breast. So for my props, I have our squishy breast. It's just like a squishy thing, but it will help with the demonstrating latching techniques. And then have our baby. With this baby doll, it's not as easy to show our the way the baby's mouth should look around the breast, so we will be sure to be putting pictures in the demonstration. And then I have a couple pillows for, these are definitely things that you want to have near you when you're breastfeeding if you can, just to make things more comfortable, help support your baby, and decrease the amount of strength you're having to use in your arms when you're breastfeeding. So I just have a normal pillow, I have a more decorative square pillow, and then I have like a rectangle couch pillow. So I'll be using those different props as I go. So when you're breastfeeding, you want to make sure that you're in a comfortable position. That means using different pillows to help support your arms. So I'm going to get my pillow set up so I'm nice and supported on both sides. And I have two different pillows, but I kind of want to show you that really any pillow or folded up blankets or something could work to get in a good position. So when you're latching your baby to the breast, you want to make sure you are in a comfortable position. No matter what position you're in, you want to make sure that you're belly to belly with your baby. So you want them nice and parallel, and you want their belly to be on your belly. So even if your baby is in this position, their belly is on your belly, same with this position, and so on in any position. So you want to make sure that they are not having to turn their head or reach around. You want them in a nice flat position against you. Their neck should be straight. It should not be turned or twisted in any way. This is a very comfortable eating position for the baby, like it is for all of us. And you want their nose to your nipple for a nice, comfortable position in order for them to breastfeed in. So I'm not going to go over different breastfeeding positions in this demo. This is just the latching demo. So for this demonstration, I'm going to be holding the baby in just this position. And you want to make sure that you can support your baby's neck with your thumb and your fingers, thumb on one side, fingers on the other side of the cheek and jaw, supporting baby's head and neck. And then with your hand, I'm going to put the baby down just so I could show you. With your hand, you are going to put your fingers under your breast and your thumb at the top so that your hand makes a C on your breast. And then again, you want to align your baby's nose to your nipple. So when you're in this position, you want to sort of put your thumb near your nipple. I should be relaxing my arm. When you're in this position, you want to put your thumb near the top of your nipple and sort of flatten it out, creating a shape of your breast that kind of looks like this. So I'm going to use this breast to demonstrate how you're going to flatten the top of your nipple when you're breastfeeding. So you'll be holding your baby and you'll be doing the C hold with a thumb up top and your fingers down at the bottom of your breast. And your thumb is going to be closer to the top of your nipple to kind of flatten it out up here. So your breast is going to be nice and full at the bottom, but a little more flat on the top. And that will bring your nipple upwards a little bit so that it will be able to, so that way when you latch your baby, the nipple will direct towards the back roof of their mouth. So when your baby is rooting around and ready to latch, they will be opening their mouth a little bit, but then there will be periods where you'll see their mouth like be wide open and trying to find the breast to get the food. And when that happens, when you're holding your breast in the appropriate position, you will quickly put their mouth, bring their mouth to your nipple. And in doing that, you are going to want to go chin first and then up onto the breast. And that ensures that they get a full mouthful of the breast for a proper latch. So I'll bring it a little bit closer. So if you're holding your breast like this and their mouth is wide open, chin first, latch on. The tissue of your areola should fill the baby's entire mouth and will look like this. So the goal is when your baby is eating that your nipple is hitting the back roof of the baby's mouth. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of breast tissue in there. Otherwise, it will be a really shallow latch. It will be very painful for you. It won't be a super effective latch for the baby. Won't be effective in emptying your breast or anything like that. While your baby is eating, you'll see periods of sucking and you'll see periods of rest. The baby doesn't constantly suck. They kind of go in waves of sucking and resting while breastfeeding. And when they're sucking, that means you will see their ears and jaw move. You can tell they're sucking by the movement in their ears and their jaw. In the first 1 to 3 days of breastfeeding after your baby is born, you typically won't hear sucking, and that's because the amount of breast milk that you are producing is not a ton at that point. So even though you see sucking, you may not hear swallowing. And then once your breast milk starts to come in is when you'll start hearing the big gulps as they breastfeed. When you're breastfeeding, it's important to remember that it should not be painful. For the first few days to a couple of weeks that you're breastfeeding is just a newer feeling, especially if you're a first-time mom. So it may feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it should not be painful. If it is painful, it will likely lead to cracks in your nipples and potentially some bleeding, maybe even an infection. So it's important that you want to get an appropriate latch to prevent the pain when you're breastfeeding and prevent the potential complications that can come from a poor latch. Also, it's important to note that when you breastfeed, your nipple should not be misshapen. So sometimes if you have an improper latch, when your baby's done breastfeeding and the nipple comes out, it can kind of look flattened or just misshapen a little bit. But if your baby has an appropriate latch, when your nipple comes out, it will just look everted and the appropriate shape, just like it was before it went in the baby's mouth. So if the latch feels painful, your breast is likely not in the right position in the baby's mouth, or like I mentioned, it could be a shallow latch. And in that case, what you want to do is while your baby is at the breast, you could go ahead and I'm going to demonstrate it with this, but remember your baby's going to be in this position or a different breastfeeding position. The nipple will be in the baby's mouth. And in order to get it out in the least painful way and the least damaging way to your nipple is to, see if I can figure this out, is to take a finger, I'll bring it close, to take a finger and pull the nipple out like this out of your baby's mouth. And you kind of want to do it in a quick fashion. So again, just putting your finger kind of in the side of the baby's mouth, grabbing the nipple right here and pulling it out. And then at that point, you would just go ahead and start over and try to relatch your baby in a way that is comfortable and appropriate. So when they are latched on, and we'll put a picture here so you can look while I talk about it, their mouth should be wide open when they're latched to your breast. Their lips should be flared out and their chin should be touching your breast or nearly touching your breast. And that concludes this breastfeeding demonstration. We hope you guys got a few tips and tricks out of it that you didn't know before. And as always, if you need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to us at childbirthallies@gmail.com. We would love to help you out and we wish you the best of luck.